Have you ever wondered why mountain roads are never straight? Why they twist, turn, and dance through the valleys instead of cutting across directly? Maybe, just maybe, it's because the beauty isn't found in shortcuts. It's in the curves, in the bends, in the slowing down, just like life. Straight roads may get you there faster, but the winding ones, they make the journey unforgettable. Welcome back to yet another video of my return ride from Nepal. In the last episode, I crossed Bhiman and refueled in Kalamani. That stretch, filled with the spirit of adventure, was a part of 203-kilometer ride to Itahari. But as always, it's not about the destination. It's about the moments that move us along the way. We spoke about happiness, joy, struggles, and the fear in the last video. And today, I want to dive deeper into something equally powerful: peace, presence, acceptance, and trust in the unknown. As the engine roared and the breeze played around me, the trees stood tall, whispering stories from centuries past. I was still far from Itahari, but the journey was rich with silence, soaked in calm. Sometimes we chase destinations too hard, but today I wasn't chasing anything. I was just riding, living, and feeling. The road was not straight, just like my thoughts, but isn't that the magic of life? We don't need to see the end of the path. We just need to keep moving with faith. Every curve reminded me, life isn't supposed to be easy to navigate. If everything was straight and predictable, we would miss out on learning patience, building resilience, and discovering ourselves. Curves humble us. The trees around me were like green waves rising on both sides of the road. The rustle of the leaves, the smell of the earth, the subtle shade of the trees over the road. It was a spiritual experience in motion. I remembered a story someone once told me in a village tea shop during my earlier ride. There was a farmer who lost his horse. People said, "Bad luck." He just smiled. The next day, the horse came back with two wild horses. People said, "Good luck." He still smiled. Then his son broke a leg trying to tame the horse. Bad luck. Maybe. But then war broke out and every able young man was called to fight, except the injured son. Listen, life is not always good or bad. It just is. And we must learn to trust its twists and turns. After riding for a while, I found a peaceful little spot on the roadside. The forest opened up, sunlight poured in through the leaves, and I decided to take a break. I parked my scooty, took off my helmet, and just sat still. No rush, only me, the breeze, and the road behind. I shot some beautiful clips, captured a few moments, those that speak more than words, moments that remind us you're not behind, you are exactly where you need to be. My heart felt lighter. The ride had become a meditation. Each twist of the road taught me to trust. I wasn't the same person who started this journey days ago. These type of solo rides actually change your perception towards life. And what's funny is, when you stop chasing the big picture, the little details come alive. The smell of firewood from a faraway village, the bark of a dog, the laughter of kids walking back home from their school. They all become gifts. Happiness isn't somewhere out there. It's riding along with you. The most meaningful rides are the ones where we don't know what's coming next, and we ride anyway. That's life. We all want clarity, certainty, and comfort, but real growth lies beyond those. Take the longer road. Take time to breathe. Because life isn't a race, it's a ride. And as I moved forward, the road started whispering new tales. The air was cooler now, scented with wild herbs and forest earth. Each breath I took felt like a prayer, silent yet deeply powerful. I realized something. Our rides, like our lives, aren't made memorable by how fast we go, but by how deeply we feel each moment. A dog ran across the road, tail wagging, chasing its own joy. And I smiled. We all chase something, don't we? Some chase money, some chase love, and some of us chase sunsets on lonely roads. But in the end, we all seek the same thing: peace, a sense of being alive, of mattering, and sometimes all it takes is a long road and the hum of your engine to feel whole again. There's a saying: when you are lost, follow the trees. They always lead you back to yourself. And that day, I wasn't lost, but I was discovering deeper parts of me with every turn. I saw this little kid and he was smiling at me, and he asked me, "Where are you going, Dai?" I smiled and replied, "Nowhere, just enjoying the ride." And that made him laugh even more. In that laughter, I saw something rare: innocence untouched by worry. It reminded me that the joy of life often lies in the simplicity, not in the luxury of hotels or fancy plans, but in the dust-covered roads, shared smiles, and the freedom to roam. I took out my camera and captured few moments: the river, the forest, the road ahead, to remind myself later that I lived this, I felt this, and it mattered. And as I mounted on my scooty again and rolled forward, a new thought came into my mind. Maybe roads like these are built to remind us how to slow down in a world obsessed with speed, how to feel in a world full of distractions, and how to listen to the wind, to the silence, and to ourselves. The ride continued, and it was peaceful, not the kind of peace that makes you fall asleep, but the kind that awakens every sense. Bird song filtered from tree to tree, as if nature was whispering its own language of encouragement. I felt it, and I embraced it. This was the kind of silence that speaks louder than words. I passed a small roadside tea stall, and something told me to stop. The old man behind the counter smiled, eyes twinkling with stories yet untold. He poured me a cup of tea without asking. "You look like you have been riding far," he said. I nodded. "Nepal," I replied. He laughed gently. "Then you are not riding away from something. You are riding into something bigger." And we talked about life, journeys, and the joy of riding. He told me he used to be a truck driver and he knew these roads better than his own plans. But it's not the road you remember, he said, looking into the hills. It's what you become on it. That line stayed with me. After a short break and few more sips of the chai, I resumed the journey. And after around 10 minutes, a realization hit me. Curvy roads teach us something powerful. I always used to wonder why mountain roads are not straight. Why so many bends, turns, switchbacks? And the answer was simple. Because straight roads cannot climb. You need the turns, the curves, the unpredictability to rise higher. Isn't life like that? The straight paths are easy, but they don't take you to the top. It's the winding roads, the tough climbs, the uncertainty that make you grow, that build you, that show you views you wouldn't have imagined. The thought settled in my heart like a melody, and with each curve I smiled. not at the road, but at life itself. I rode further, heart full, eyes open. Every tree, every rock, every village felt like a chapter from a book I didn't want to finish. And in the midst of that joy, I remember something. What we carry inside matters more than what we chase outside. I thought about how often we wait for the big things to feel happy: promotions, relationships, achievements. But happiness doesn't live in milestones. It lives in moments, tiny, beautiful, often overlooked moments. I thought of the people I met, the tea stall man, the kids, the smiles, the curve on the road that felt like it was drawn just for me. And in all of it, I felt something profound. This trip was not just a return ride from Nepal, it was a return to self. After almost around 30 to 40 minutes of this ride, I took another break. No reason, just a feeling. I pulled out my phone, clicked some shots, selfies, skies, scooty against the horizon. This was just to preserve a feeling, a day, a ride. These pictures I will upload in the post section of my channel, so don't forget to check it out. I knew that Itahari is still far, and as I kept moving forward, I was enjoying the ride. To feel, to live, to love the road for everything it gives and everything it teaches. Because in the end, that's what life is, a long, curvy, breathtaking ride. To everyone watching this, whether you are going through a tough time, chasing a dream, or just trying to figure things out, remember, the road doesn't need to be straight. It just needs you to keep riding. So, until next time, keep smiling, keep exploring, and always stay true to your journey. I'll see you in the next part of this beautiful return ride. The road to Itahari continues, but the real destination is the joy you carry inside. Thank you.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe